born, my parents were living in Charleston, South Carolina at the Air Force Base. And we traveled from there to New Hampshire, and then we went straight from the snow over the roof to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where the tumbleweeds were strolling down the road. And then they settled back in Hickory by the time I was in school. So I mostly grew up, as far as my school age years, in the Hickory area. I always wanted to get back to Charleston, so when I got married, my husband and I started looking for those opportunities, and we finally made it there. And we thought, this is it. We're going to be here like forever. And then life happened and some job changes, and I ended up here in Raleigh. But while I was in the Charleston area, I really dove into all the art opportunities. I had always been artistically inclined, but there is something about the South, and especially about a historic area, that just really pulled the need to capture it out of me. And so I really dove into it full time then. For one thing, being Southern, it just flows unstaunched in my blood. And so it's what I know. And it's what inspires me. But I also think that by painting subjects from the South, I'm helping people who have a hard time describing what is so unique about this region with my own contribution to offering something to describe it, if not in words, then just in a view, a painting worth 1,000 words. I felt like since I was using the Southern ambiance theme, I would stick to things that people who came to view this show would be more likely to be looking for. And my hope is that when they're coming through, they're going to be saying, oh, I remember being there, or that's near where I grew up. Or maybe they'll say, what's on that tag? Where is that? We need to plan a trip there sometime. This is Beach Bikes, and it's inspired by a house on Wrightsville Beach. Actually, there were 4 bikes in the beginning, but we artists use artistic license to do what we can with a painting. And for me, it was overwhelming and confusing to have 4 sets of bike tires in this work. And bike tires are not easy. If you ever want a painting challenge, try painting round circles. So I went in with 3 bikes instead. I made them really bright to mimic the colors of the house. I loved the colors of the house. That's mainly what drew my attention to this subject matter. I loved the way they used the bright colors on the shutters. And though I used a little artistic license in some things about this painting, it's one of my favorites when I remember trips to Wrightsville Beach. And who doesn't like to ride a bike on Wrightsville Beach? Being a Christian, I would have to say the Ultimate Artist has inspired that, but he led many people to be in my life that are my cheerleaders and my encouragers. And there are times when I just want to quit. And like my husband, who's my biggest cheerleader, he will say, no, wait a minute. This is who you are. This is what you do. And he gets my perspective back on track. If I could only choose one, it would be the undisputed greatest genius of all time, Leonardo da Vinci, because he pursued truth and beauty. That was his whole goal in life. And some of the things that inspired me about him was that he said, people go through life never really seeing. They go through their whole life without appreciating everything that's around them. And I think that when I paint, I try to get people to stop and look at those things. Other artists that inspired me would be the Impressionists because of their color. I love color. I like John Singer Sargent for his drama. And I love the storytellers, the Americans, Howard Pyle, N.C. Wyeth, and Norman Rockwell. And then I like the idealism and the mastery of the pre-Raphaelites, William Holman Hunt and Waterhouse. When I'm painting, I have to consider why I want to spend so much time depicting that subject on a piece of canvas. And that forces me to search within myself. While I'm there, I'm also trying to resolve a lot of art issues. There are many elements of art that a professional artist has to keep in mind if they know they want to make a successful painting. It's not just about their feelings, but it also has to be something that the world could appreciate as well. Whenever I start looking at the bigger picture, it takes me outside my stress and my anxiety and makes me see things as that this will pass, and everything moves on, and this becomes part of your past, and you just keep on. It's like it gives me a whole perspective instead of that smallness you tend to get into whenever you're facing a problem. This is Stormy Marsh at Shell Point, and people in North Carolina will know that if you've been to Wrightsville Beach, Shell Island is right at the northern tip of Wrightsville Beach. And recently, Tropical Storm Anna was a visitor there, and the Weather Channel people were all over the place. But it also happened to be the weekend us artists were all over the place because it was the plein air paint out. And so I decided to make the best of things and hold on to my canvas using a large brush while trying to depict that marsh with not only the stormy sky that came across, but the fact that there was blue sky in between. You really didn't know what you were getting. It was a mixed bag, but the wind was horrific for a painter. And so it was a very challenging painting to do, almost totally done with large brushes. So there were no details except for whatever the tip of my brush would leave as an imprint there. And yet I was having people come through that drive-through there in front of the Holiday Inn area, and they were just in awe that I was painting, for one thing. That was pretty crazy, but also that I was getting something done. They loved the painting. So I'll never forget that painting, just remembering the setting of why I was there. That's something you can't ever capture in a studio painting. So many people have told me, especially my students, have said, I can't even draw a stick. And I'm like, I can't either. I have to have a ruler. You don't have to be artistically inclined to be able to learn enough to satisfy that yearning to be creative. And so many people, I think, quit because they don't realize that it's like learning an instrument. There are so many hours and hours of practice that you have to put in. You don't magically have what you need right off the bat. You have to gain those skills. And so I believe that everybody is created with a creative bent towards something. It may not be art, but it's something, and that they just need to find a way to get that out and to have the confidence to get that out, to realize that they matter and what they have to contribute matters. The Painter Place series was born in a dream, actually, that I had while we were living in South Carolina. And I just jotted it down. I thought, this would make a good book someday. But I wasn't a writer and didn't envision myself being one. I just journaled or wrote lesson plans for students. And then after I had taken yet another unfinished book back to the library, and I started lamenting the lack of quality books on the market, my son, who was in college at the time, he said, Mom, if you're feeling that way, lots of other people are too. You're not the only one. So what can you do to help that problem? That's a problem. Let's think of what you can do to help it. And so he said, write the kind of book that you would like to read. So I thought about it for a while. In the meantime, we moved here, and I took a year off from painting and everything, and I decided I was going to write. And so I wrote my novel, and I thought probably only my family would ever see it, maybe friends. And within 3 weeks, I had a publisher. So I felt like that was a sign that I needed to be sure and get it out. And it really, because it was set in 1985 when my husband proposed to me, I went ahead and thought, you know, these people in this novel are going to face Hurricane Hugo. I know because I went through it. And what would they do in that instance? And so I forced them to go through Hurricane Hugo. And that was the second novel. Now I'm finishing the third. And they're all about, they center around an artist, and her name is Caroline Painter. And the reason I named her Caroline was because of the Carolinas. It represented someone growing up in the South in the Carolinas. And I think that people, if they would read those novels, they would come away with thinking that they'd had a breath of fresh air, and they had taken a look at things that they take for granted, and they didn't know they were taking them for granted. They can find them, if they didn't really know where to look on Amazon, to look under the name Painter, it's the Painter Place Saga, or they could look under my name. I have a bio there. But if they had forgotten to go to Amazon, they could go to my publisher, and that's Electio.com, And then they could just go on my website in the books section, and the information is there with links as to how to click into those. Great. I would like them to feel like after they had come to this show here in this lobby, they would walk out and say, you know, I feel better for having come to this. I feel more relaxed. I enjoyed that. And I hope that they would feel like they had had a breath of fresh air, maybe a stroll through a southern scene. And we're famous for our sunshine down here. Maybe they felt like they'd been bathed in some sunshine. But mostly, I would want it to lift their spirits, and I would want them to go and tell people that. The same is true with my novels, except that I would hope that they would carry what they learned in the painting with words, the more solid ideas there, not as subjective, that they would carry that out into the world and just make the world a better place.